further along. Okay, so again, file, new, drawing, okay. So here it's asking you what your sheet size is. Mine defaults to millimeters. I'm sure I can figure out how to fix that. But my solution is we want an 8.5 by 11 in portrait format. So the width we want 8.5 IN for inches. And then click tab. And then 11 IN for height. If you don't type in IN, it's going to give you an 8.5 by 11 millimeter size drawing. You don't want that. Okay, and then click OK when you have that. So hopefully everyone has something that looks like this. Yes? The blue is the sheet. Sometimes you get like a little text drawing table. Hopefully you don't have that. So the reason I told you to open it is now here it prompts you to use whatever is already open. If you want to skip that step, you can click Browse and look for the file that you want to use. But anyway, so let's see if I double click on this here. So go ahead and double click on your jar on the left side, and that will give us a new property dialog box here on the left. You also notice now we have this floating rectangle. That's basically a bounding box of our object. Again, just looking at some of our options here, it's defaulting to the front view. That's good. You can ignore these. Here's the display style. I want you to use the default, which is hidden lines removed and just line work. You don't need to have it shaded. And this is true for project 1 as well. What I want to change here is the scale. So the sheet scale defaulted to 1/2 size. We're going to click on Use Custom Scale. And in the drop-down menu, select 1:1, because we want this to be full scale to verify the size of our model. You should notice your bounding box grew in size. You're going to select, now that we have that setting, that's all we really need to change. We're going to go over to this blue page here and click somewhere towards the bottom. And now, if you see what I see, the picture is behind the jar. We don't want to see the picture. Again, if you have my settings, a quick way to turn off sketches, a quick way to turn off seeing sketches is to hit Alt and V, and that will hide your sketches. Or Option V. And hopefully you see just the jar now. Everyone with me? This is not necessary for project 1, but just to learn, while you're still in this mode, if you mouse over left or right or top or bottom, it will give you the corresponding orthographic view automatically. So we want to go ahead and get the top view. So just scroll above and click that center line, or click in the middle there. And now we have, actually, yeah, you can also get isometric off to the side. Whenever you want to stop this automated drawing thing, you can just hit escape and it will get you out of there. Now, finally for project 1, the final requirement is to just have 2 basic dimensions on this. So the same hotkeys work in the drawing, so you can hit D for dimension. And I'm going to click on the bottom line and the top line and bring this dimension off to the side. And while I'm still in dimension mode, I'm going to click on the Y. I didn't quite select this bump here. I'm just going to select something easy. So this vertical line on the lid and this vertical line, and bring it down to get the general width down here. And again, when you're done dimensioning, you can just kind of hit escape and get out of that. Did everyone follow that, or should I go over any of those steps again? Okay. I'm seeing 1 thumbs up and blank stares, and I'm taking that as a yes. 2 thumbs up, nice. If you want to change the units, if you go to, so mine defaulted to millimeters. If you go to the gear up here and go to document properties and go to units, you can switch this to IPS, inch pound second, and click on OK. And that will change it to. Honestly, I'm not that picky. I don't care. If you want to turn in your work with millimeters, I don't mind. Yeah, Max. Secondary? Yes, you can. If you go to options, document properties, units, I thought it was in here, custom. You definitely can. I'm forgetting where to do it now. I may have to get back to you on this. It is definitely, here we go. Is it under dimensions? Yes. They like to be confusing. So it's not under units, it's under dimensions, and it's dual dimension display. Let's see, that might default to, no, yep, okay. I'm almost there. It's giving me 2 inches now. If I go back to units, here you go, you can see this. Basic units, here, dual dimension length, inches. So what you would want to do is click on here, drop this down to mils. Will that be millimeters? Nope, that's millionths of an inch. Good question. There is more options here, that's why. Millimeters, there it is. Cool, did I answer your question? So, okay, one more time without the struggle. It's under document properties, dimensions, check dual dimension display, and then back in units, that's where you would set what the dual dimension is. But not necessary for my class. Cool, if you all have this, you are welcome to print directly from SolidWorks. That would be file print. You would just want to make sure that it's 1-to-1 scale. It's not shrunk. You can also file save as and save it out as a PDF or a JPEG if that's your preferred method of printing. But of course, don't forget to. I always forget to do this. This will be the struggle all semester. Let's go ahead and go file, save. Save all. It's asking you if you want to save the jar too because it's pointing to that. And you can give it the same name. You'll notice that it's just a different file type. It's .drw or .sld drw, and just click save. But again, if you want to save it out as a different file type, you can click save as, drop this down. Your options are PDF or JPEG, are what I would recommend. Or you can print it directly from SolidWorks, just print it to full scale. Are there any questions on any of that? So again, I'm going to request that all of you print this page for today so that when I walk around and meet with you, I can compare the jar to your drawing. Yeah, Max. So my advice to you again in that instance would be to save it out as a PDF and then like put it on the cloud or something and open it up with your Mac. Or you can, if you want to take the time to set up your printer drivers, you can. You can also, if you're in a super bind, I can lend you my flash drive and you can print from a flash drive. But yes, I want you to figure that out now sooner than later because on Monday, you need to have 3 of these prints of your bottles full scale ready to look at. So project 1, let's go over a recap of project 1, is to build 3 bottles in CAD as close to existing dimensions as possible. Yes, Max? It does, but for now, for Monday, you can ignore the cap. Thank you, that's a good question. You can ignore the cap for Monday. A week from today, a week from Wednesday, we will be covering caps and how to do like patterns of like grip details and stuff. For Monday, you can ignore you can treat the cap as just a cylinder and nothing beyond that. Yeah, Max. I think my advice would be to model it without the cap. You can ignore the threading. Please do not worry about building this. You can just build If you see this jar here, do you see these threads? Just build this as a straight line. Yes, that's what I would do for Monday. That's my advice. I would have the cap on there for photos. Honestly, I don't care what you do for Monday. Just know that we are going to do a deep dive on caps a week from today. So you can like grossly simplify the cap, or you can treat it as if it doesn't exist. What is good for Monday is to do what I said, where it's to build it with the origin right below the cap. That will make your life way easier for this project. Trust me. Again, it's that Jenga tower. I'm trying to set you guys up so you don't have to rebuild the tower from scratch. Let's say base of the cap. No, base of the cap. Base of the cap. Yeah. Origin, base of the cap is the simplest way for me to explain what I would do. Like in the industry, technically it goes below the neck finish, but don't worry about that. For this class, below the cap is enough, is the best way to explain that. Also on Monday, I intend to talk a little bit more industry on bottles and some of their features and stuff, and volume, and get into that good stuff. So reminder in project 1, you're building 3 bottles in CAD. You are then going to take those, and that's what we're going to look at on Monday, is we're going to make sure that the CAD looks good, the bottles look good. After that, you're going to take each of those bottles and you're going to make one, for each bottle, you're going to do one that's twice the size and one that's half the size for each bottle. Again, it's all in the syllabus, and this will be explained continually. Yeah, Max. Yes, your Mac will not open the drawing file. So I would save it as a PDF or a JPEG if you want to print from your Mac.